What's up, book nerds? My name is Tara, and today I'm going to talk about sponsored content on BookTube. If you've been around the parts of YouTube, you are no stranger to sponsored content. At this point, it is everywhere. It is especially pervasive in communities like the beauty community, but we are definitely seeing an infiltration of this type of content in our little corner of the universe with books. And we're not seeing it as much as in other areas of the internet because we are not a big money industry, but there certainly are people, and we all know who they are, who are getting a lot of offers and a lot of money from big companies to provide content in exchange for that money. At the simplest level, this is the basic exchange of the advanced reader copy or the ARC in exchange for a free and honest review. I will not be talking about that today because that's pretty much a standard of the book industry in general, and even people outside of BookTube, librarians, teachers, book professionals, reviewers are getting those, so I'm not really worried about those. I'm talking more about someone actually offering up much more extensive free products or less related free products or just straight up cash in exchange for some sort of a promotion inside of a video. I'll start off by saying that I am queen pragmatic here. I absolutely feel that sponsored content is something that's bound to happen, is necessary to happen, and I have no direct beef with sponsored content. What I do have a beef with is the way that this is being discussed because I think there's a lot of misinformation. So I wanted to make this video a call to two particular audiences to think about how we think about sponsored content in our little nook of the BookTube YouTube universe. So the first call is to BookTube in general. BookTubers, I want to push you to think about why we demonize this sponsored content. The typical party line here is, oh, well, you don't like sponsored content because you're jealous because no one is paying you to make videos. And I don't think this is necessarily true. I think it comes from a place of knowing how YouTube was 5-7 years ago when there wasn't as much of this content, and it's the feeling that things are changing or there's a commercialization of something that we've considered to be a hobby. However, I charge you to believe that this was inevitable because everything that you consume outside of the YouTube world or the BookTube world is sponsored content. The movies you watch have product promotions in them, the television shows, commercials, the internet, Netflix, Hulu, you're bombarded with this every day. So why are we surprised that YouTube has gone this direction as well? A booktuber choosing to include sponsored content on their channel, generally because they're one of the few that had been given an offer to even make that choice, is not in and of itself a bad thing. And we as members of the community, we have a lot of choices with how we deal with that content. You can say, I don't want to watch those type of booktubers, and you can unsubscribe, or I don't want to watch this type of video, or I can click away, or I don't want to watch this part at the beginning of the video, so I will fast forward or tune that part out until they are done with all of the sponsored part and go into the real content of the video. But what's not okay is for us to judge that person for wanting to take that opportunity to work with companies or make some money off of something that's a hobby, because that's kind of the way our world is going. And if you don't like it, don't watch those kind of videos. I promise you there are, I don't want to say a billion, but at least hundreds, if not thousands of other booktubers who aren't even getting those offers, so they're not making sponsored content. There's plenty for you to watch on BookTube that is not sponsored content. But with this, my second point I want to make is a call to content creators themselves. Now, with sponsored content, this can be done very well or this can be done very lazily. When you watch a movie and they have product placement, it's not in your face. And yes, there are a million negative things you can say about the bombardment of advertisements in this culture that we live in. But there are ways to dance around your sponsored content without being really dull about it. A good example of this would be a recent video I watched from Emma Books, and I will link that here and in the down bar below, where she was sponsored by Redbubble. And I think I even had a sense as I watched this video that she was being sponsored by someone because there seemed to be a lot of cute little bookish items being featured in the video. But she did a really creative video about how to engage in a reading marathon. And so the reading marathon was really the topic of the video, and she very creatively put in those products so that even if I'm not really interested in product placement or going to Redbubble to get those products, there was still plenty that I could get from that video if that was what I was clicking on the video to see. In contrast, I won't name any specific booktubers or any specific videos, but I have definitely seen videos with product placement that just look like a really boring conversation about something that I don't have any interest in, and I click away from those videos very quickly because they're just almost like a straight up commercial. If you are a content creator who is struggling with the decision to include sponsored content on your channel, I think it's just a matter of asking the simple question of, is it worth it? Is this something I want to make money off of? Am I getting a little doodad in exchange for making my channel almost entirely about commercials, or is this an opportunity for me to get funding in order to make my channel more of a business where I can explore my creative side? Again, as with everything I do, I'm not here to tell you how to run your channel. You can do whatever you want. People will watch. I still don't understand why book haul videos get triple the views on my channel for all the other content I have. That's the world that we live in. But I did want to bring up some of these points because I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. I watch videos with sponsored content in them all the time, and let's be honest, if someone's offering me a lot of money to start making this channel into a business or to run a video in exchange for some money, I'm a poor college student and I might at least entertain that offer to see how I could make that work with the mission of my channel. Having sponsored content or not having sponsored content is not an issue of morality or authenticity. It's just an issue of differences in how we choose to run our channels. So if you have thoughts on sponsored content, if you disagree with me, by all means, let's open up that conversation. I am no stranger to disagreement. It's my life as an academic. And if you just want to add in your 2 cents about sponsored content, I would love to hear that as well. And as always, book nerds, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.